Last year, Australians overwhelmingly voted not to be divided by race. Every jurisdiction in the country voted against enshrining a race-based voice into the Constitution. Sorry, I should have said every jurisdiction with the exception of the ACT. But if you've ever spent any time in Canberra, you'd know it's not really part of the country. It's ironic, though, that Labor politicians, having spent more than a year telling Australians how important it was for them to be able to listen to a small group of constituents, are now completely deaf to the overwhelming majority. We voted against racial division. And so Labor, who prior to the referendum were all about listening, are now completely ignoring us as they redouble their efforts to divide us by race. It's almost as if the referendum never happened, or at least it's as if 61% of us never voted. Victorian Labor Premier Jacinta Allen has said today she's open to creating a public holiday to celebrate Indigenous culture and languages. Can't reduce debt, can't organise the Commonwealth Games, can't even organise a train from Tullamarine to the city, but shut the state down for a day every year to celebrate Indigenous culture? Absolutely, that she can do. Victoria's First Peoples Assembly is expected to demand the public holiday as part of their negotiations on a treaty with the state government. And just on that, what a strange way to promote reconciliation and healing. One party demanding that the other must stop work every year and celebrate them. Can't you just feel the unity? I can just imagine Victorian Senator Lydia Thorpe using this public holiday every year to promote the left's idea of, social cohesion.
This is a war!
Now, of course, you understand when she says war, she means unity. Just like when she swore allegiance to the Queen's hares, she meant... Never mind. Politicians and activists, but I repeat myself, have foisted welcome to country on us, and, well, how's that working out?
Welcome to country is not a ceremony that we've invented to cater for white people. It's a ceremony we've been doing for 250,000 years plus BC, and the BC stands for before Cook.
Has reminding us at every opportunity that one group's ancestors got here before the other group's ancestors brought Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians together? Or has it only served to breed cynicism and take up valuable time before a football game? Undeterred, though, the Victorian Labor government would mandate that everyone must celebrate Indigenous culture on a special public holiday, whether they want to or not. And spare a thought for long-suffering small business owners. You can lose a day of trading or you can pay staff penalty rates, whatever, but Victorian businesses will pay so that 1% of the population can be celebrated as special based on their ancestry, and one narcissistic state premier can be lauded for her enlightened thinking. It makes me wonder why our political class bothered changing the lyrics of our national anthem from "We are young and free" to "We are one and free," if the plan is to continually emphasise, now potentially with a public holiday no less, that we are not one people. It's not as if Indigenous Australians don't have any special days dedicated to them. February 13 is the anniversary of National Apology Day. The third Thursday of every month is National Close the Gap Day. May 26, well, that's National Sorry Day. And May 27 to June 3rd is National Reconciliation Week. July 7 to July 14, well, that's NAIDOC Week. August 4 is National Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Children's Day. August 9, that's International Day of the World's Indigenous Peoples. September 4, that's Indigenous Literacy Day. And I could go on and on and on, but I won't because I think you get the picture. By the way, if you served our nation on a battlefield, risking life and limb to defend our freedoms, you get April 25th. These days, with a side of pro-Palestinian protesters thrown in for free. I've got a couple of questions. Do you think the state government will tell public servants they can work rather than celebrate Indigenous Day and have a different day off instead? Like they currently permit for those who object to Australia Day? I doubt it. Do you think the state government and the ABC will be sympathetic if a bunch of Aussies protest Indigenous Day, like so many protest Australia Day, while being cheered on by the activist media? Of course not. I'm old enough to still remember when we were one nation, under one flag, and all subject to one law. Now we're being deliberately divided as a nation, represented by, I keep forgetting, what is it now, 3 flags? And we're increasingly subject to different laws. So here's the question. What should we do? Well, I've got an idea and I want to run it past you and you can let me know what you think. What if we were to have a national referendum and find out whether the majority of Australians believe we should give special status to one particular group based on race? Sorry, what's that you're saying? We already did that? Well, do our politicians know?